Hey everybody, and welcome back to Farmboy's Garage. Today we have a 1974 Ford 3000 diesel tractor in the shop, and we've got some issues besides the rust. The other day we crunked it up, water pouring out of the radiator. This radiator's been damaged before. Years ago, one of the fan blades came off and went through it, and if y'all will be able to tell right there, it was fixed at a radiator shop, and of course it tore the shroud up when it broke off, so we never put the shroud back on, and now the radiator's leaking. This is the original radiator, so got a replacement radiator for it. I'm on got a replacement shroud, and I've also got a replacement battery tray, so that's going to be a separate video on replacing this battery tray, and it shouldn't be no big issue. It's just a pin here, it's got to come out. Just noticing all the oil leaks around this thing. It's filthy, it's been sitting a long time, so I guess the first thing I'm going to do is shoot a little purple cleaner on it and get some grease off of it, and go ahead and disconnect the battery, get the battery off, wash the top of the engine good, and then we'll be ready to start tearing the front end of this thing down to get the radiator out. Okay, so I've decided I'm going to take this hood off just to make it easier to degrease everything under there. And basically it's just a few bolts, one here, but we got to take the exhaust off, and it should just be an exhaust clamp somewhere behind this hood here. And we just have to fish our hand up in there, or maybe we might can get to it from the other side. I've got the battery tray off, and there is the exhaust clamp right there. So we'll take that loose, and that whole section should just pop off. Alright, so here's the muffler clamp. I had to take this one all the way off because it was wanting to come up with the muffler, but now we're ready to take this muffler off. Should just pop right up off the top. Just like that. You can see this one's pretty bad shape, so this will be getting replaced. I will save the little flapper. The 4 bolts out. Should just be a matter of picking this up, setting it off the tractor. And these are all 5/16 or 8mm heads. I don't know what yours might have, but these are like that. I'm not sure if these bolts are factory. This hood needs a lot of work. It's rusting, but you really have to take the hood off to get the front off anyway, so might as well go ahead and do it. Okay, what a mess. I think I got about as much on me as I did the tractor. And it ain't as good a job as a steam cleaner would do, but a heck of a lot better than it was, for sure. And I probably could go back over this side again, because I washed this side and I washed over here, and I think it blowed some junk back over this side. But anyway, it looks a lot better than it did. Putting a little old cup there, just keep trash and stuff from getting down the exhaust. Going to show y'all. I had some questions about how these tractors are preheated in the winter time. These don't have glow plugs. They've got a little heater right here. It's this fuel line comes off. Just a tiny little fuel line that runs back, and it's I guess it's like a little igniter in there that lights that fuel off, and it burns inside the intake right there. Heats up the intake. This tractor don't work. What I'm gonna do on it, I hope, is if I can find a suitable freeze plug place, I'm gonna put a block heater on it. We don't really use these tractors when it gets really cold. Every now and then just blow it down to freezing when we need one, and they're usually a pain in the butt to get started. So I see a lot more crap in here. Whew. It needs another degreasing, but I'm out of degreaser, so we may just have to let it sit and blow it off some. Alright, to get this radiator off, I believe we're going to have to get this pipe out of the way, and then I think this radiator attaches to the shell somehow. You got a hose clamp here, a hose clamp here, and I believe we can lift this up and out. You can also take these braces loose, got one on each side, and a bolt down here at the bottom on each side. And I believe you can just pull off the whole front once you take this hose loose in here and work it free. You do not have to remove the oil bath cleaner, but it'd probably be a good idea to go ahead and drain it and keep it from getting oil everywhere. So I think that's what we're going to do. Got some wiring that goes to these lights. It's got to be unplugged. Looks like the plug's right here for those, right there. So there's one light, and then the other light I guess is on the other side over there. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and just remove this whole shell. I believe it's going to be easier going back with it, with the shell off first. Okay, with these two brace bolts removed, I've got one more on the bottom. I do have the intake hose off. I just disconnected it right here and right here, and I also went ahead and removed the oil bath bottom with the oil in it. Now I believe this one bolt is all that's holding this whole front on, and when I get that off I can access the bottom of the radiator. It's only got one wire hookup to your lights, and the wire runs from this light to this light, so that one wire we disconnected earlier should be good. And that the radiator should not move. This whole front right here needs to be replaced. Very bad shape at the bottom. And we should be able to just lift this up and set it off here somewhere. Now you can see this big plate right here. This is what the radiator bolts to. And since the bottom of this was bent in so bad I couldn't access it without removing this, 11/16. Everything's disconnected, the hoses are disconnected, and all it should have to do is lift up and come out of there. Man, what a mess. Man, look at that nasty stuff. That stuff is brown. Absolute brown. So this thing sits on these little pads here, and it looks like it's got a little ridge that only goes on part of the way. So yeah, so you can possibly get this radiator off without removing the shell, but it's a lot easier with the shell off. So that's going to do it for part one. I appreciate y'all watching, and stay tuned for part two when we put this thing back together again.